Look who's appearing in my video. This is Edna, and she's going to become a whole different thing before this video is over. So come along and watch. So this all starts with a huge box of clear key rings I got from Goodwill, an insanely huge amount of key rings for a really good price, which I've since found and will link below at on Amazon. But I kept thinking, what am I going to make with them? What should I do with them? Well, then Edna, one of my favorite characters, spoke to me. And Edna's a cross between, uh, she's a cross between Edith Head, Edna from The Incredibles, and me. And if you know me, you know who Edith Head is from. If you're part of my tribe, you know she's part of the golden era of Hollywood costumers. Anyway, I love her front and back view for this project because if I have clear key rings, I want to use both sides. So I came up with some text. Superheroes wear feather boas. Superheroes wear feather boas and fabulous to the end. And I thought I have to figure out a way to cut these into perfect circles to fit into these acrylic doohickeys. So I was like, how can I do that? And I tried to trace one, make one, didn't work. Husband said, use the Cricut Joy. So I set it up on the Cricut Joy. And now this was going to be trial and error. I set her up on a 4x6 mat because that's what I cut on in my Cricut Joy. And it was a little bit of eyeballing this, eyeballing that. But there she is on the mat with the text. And my one trick I have and suggest or hint, tip, or suggestion is if you're using a Cricut Joy or any Cricut mat, I only know Cricut Joy, I cut the corners off so that I can match the corners with the 4x6 box that I use on my Cricut mat and then match them as closely as possible as I'm doing here. So now the next thing was to feed this in and hope I eyeballed it correctly. Where to make the circle, where to cut the circle. So here I'm cutting, obviously, and I'm holding my breath because there were so many trial and errors. You have no idea how many pieces I got messed up or looked like they were chewed. It was a lot of trial and error. But after I saw the circle completed, I hit pause and I unloaded. If you have a Cricut Joy, you know what I'm talking about. Unloaded, and then trepidatiously I see, did I get a perfect circle? Let's see how this one turned out. I'm fingers crossed, as always, hoping Edna will bring me some luck. And it looks like this one, well, I know the answer, but I'm trying to create a little suspense. Turned out perfectly after, like I said, 10,000 tries. And I had to use it on laser paper because cardstock would not fit into my key rings without kind of making it stay somewhat open. So I matched to see if the two circle designs are the same, and again back and front view of Edna because I think that adds a little charm to the design. And next little thing I do is insert them into the key ring, and let's see if they fit. Looks like it's gonna fit. You have no idea how many times I was trying to do this, or what I kept trying to think, what can I use these for, these acrylic key rings. And I love this idea, and I'll probably use other characters, but I will use a front and back view of the character because I just think that makes it more charming. Anyway, look, it turned out. It worked. I was so excited. You have no idea. I was hanging them on my bulletin board. I was hanging them in the car on the mirror just because I thought it was so cool. And I love the fact that Edna, that I was doing her back and front, or front and back, right? Isn't that the coolest? I think so. Anyway, so this isn't so much a step-by-step tutorial as much as, hey, let's think out of the box. One, check Goodwill for art supplies. You never know what you'll find in there. I have found cutting boards. I have found some really great things at Goodwill and never spent over $9.99. But again, I have since then found these on Amazon, and I'll link below. And now I just have to put it into my Etsy store where I have my pithy women greeting cards, of which I've sold 12,000 plus, which I always feel compelled to say, and I'll put the link below, and figure out what pricing I'm going to do with these. I haven't figured that out yet. I think I have an idea. Anyway, love, peace, and chicken grease. Thanks for watching. And if you subscribe, I'll be your best friend. I mean, seriously, I'll be your best friend.